All right, let's get right into this. So I had a bit of an idea, and I'll get right into the idea. It's hard to explain, really. Though it's simpler to conclude than explain in the beginning. So, first of all, I'm going to use myself as an example and my experiences, and I will tell you that I always had a bit of a unique personality, but I was never totally off. You know what I mean? I may have had a unique personality, but I always, whatever was in my environment, I would always try to kind of have some of that when I would in my personality, or when I would speak, or when I would act something, or do anything. But I gotta tell you, the only thing that I really ever did seriously, where I really felt it and I did it, was when anyways, we don't even need to get into that. The point of this is that you know when people know you at different times of your life, right? They might think they know you, and then 2 years later, you're a different type of person around different people. Now if every 2 years that's happening, what are people from different timelines gonna think? Obviously they can never get along with when it comes to that, because they have different perspectives and whatnot. But this is the point, and it's very simple. For me, and I talk about this recently. It's almost like being born into the world. No, I'm not a baby. I'm not a baby with a bottle, right? But I'm born into the world. I am an adult. You see me, I'm an adult. I'm in my 30s, early 30s. But I'm in my 30s, and I am an adult, and I don't think it's anything that odd. But that's the way the world is, right? You start off as a baby, and everything is genuine, and you pick things up and you learn things. You get older. And you do your thing. But people typically have a presence as a baby, and they grow through that. Whereas with me, it was like I had no presence. I wasn't growing or changing. And people didn't really even know me. You know what I mean? And it's fun. It's so funny because people claim. And I've had different people claim the same shit. There was a time when, I had like at least 10 different people tell me that, oh man, you don't really seem like you have a lot of friends, man. And then it would be, oh man, me and you should go and hang out and all this stuff. And you got different people claiming to see different things with different aims and different purposes. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. So one person be like, "Oh, I know this guy the best," and it's like, dude, if you only knew how low I thought of you always. Like you were always a piece of shit, and I didn't even know the facts. And when I learned the facts about how much of a piece of shit you were, I was like, holy shit. You know what I mean? I'm an adult now, and I look at people in the past, and I'm like, you guys were so far from the image that I saw, and I think that's why people like being around, like not even being around me, just showing themselves in front of me, because because I didn't have that much malice or negativity when I looked at people, and I think that I kind of made people feel good about themselves. The fact that I couldn't see, let's say they were horrible, the fact that I couldn't see how horrible they were, kind of thing. Doesn't matter really. But where I'm going with this basically is that even I didn't know who I was. You know what I mean? It's not till you're actually born and you have a presence in this world that you learn and understand who you are. And I'm coming to realize that right now. People used to say all the time, and I've had people directly tell me to say that you don't even know who you are, man. Why don't you try figuring out who you are? Because you are so far, your idea of reality about the world and about yourself is totally far-fetched. You have no idea what your value is, how much you're worth, who you are. You have no idea about that. And it was thought that either I was stupid or I had some kind of remedial thing going on in my brain. But because I was able to do certain things, people would see me do certain things and be like, okay, so he's got to have some kind of ability to do that. He must have had an ability to help him or something like that, and that's not true. Sometimes we just sense things. There are animals that don't even see really, and they just sense everywhere they move or everything they do. They just do it by sensing it, not really knowing down pat that, oh, this is this and that's that. They just move because that's the way they feel or sense, right? Now, but away from that, where I'm trying to get is, so they'd be like, so sometimes people would know things and be like, well, this guy can't be remedial. How can you be that smart and be remedial? And then they'd be like, okay, well, he's faking it, pretty much. You know what I mean? Be like, well, he must be faking it. Now, do I deny that? Yes and no. Was I consciously faking anything? No. But if at that time, if I had a real presence, I would think that I was faking it too. You know what I mean? And I know that because when I go through certain anyways, we need to get into that. But I would have thought that too. I would have thought that I was just faking it, because how can a guy, when you compete with or you do any kind of activity or whatever, and this guy is like doing so well, he must be either he's faking it or he's just fucking a nobody type of person who just doesn't want to do anything and has no motivation in his life. He's got no motivation or enthusiasm in his life. Right now, where am I going with this? I hope my subscribers would know where I'm going with this. Where I'm going with this is that now. And I've told you, I was in an enclave for maybe seven months or so, 7 or 8 months, I was in an enclave. And to come out of that enclave, be in the world, you know what I mean? Be in the world, is where I started to figure out who I really am. You know what I mean? And that was the whole point that I was talking about, was basically, people, literally, if you watch my videos, right now, if you watch even 2 of my, I put out 10-minute videos, 7-minute videos, 15-minute videos. If you watch 10 minutes of my videos right now, you know me better than anybody who claims to know me any time from the previous year. So anybody that claimed to know me before the beginning of 2022, anyone who claimed to have known me before the beginning of 2022, guess what? You know me better than them. Now, isn't that funny? And I'm serious. I'm not joking about this. If you watch my videos right now, right? Whether you tuned in last week, whether you've been watching for a couple of weeks, you know me better than anybody that claims to have known me at any point in my life prior to this year. All right. And obviously, I'm not talking about prior to my birth, right? That wouldn't make any sense at all. So it's not prior. So if you knew me prior to 2022, right? Prior to the beginning of 2022, meaning any time before 2022, meaning 2021 and before that, 2021 and before that, you would know that since I'm born to 2021. I'm telling you right now, anybody, and if you ever come into contact with anybody, if you hear a claim that I know this guy, some people will claim they know me just because they met me a couple of times and then they kind of followed me around or heard about me, not literally follow, but when you follow somebody like on Instagram, I followed him on Instagram for a while, all these people that claim to have known me, I'm telling you right now, you know me better than them. You know me better than anybody that knew me prior to 2022 and when I was born. You know me better. You watch, and especially if you've been watching my videos even for 3 days and you've watched 25 minutes of content, telling you right now, you know me better than all those people. Now, doesn't that feel cool and doesn't that feel amazing? I'm going to end the video right now because it's a very good note to end it and it's a perfect time to end it, and ending it is what we're doing right now.